Okay, we got Patrice O'Neal in studio for the rest of the show. And before we get into what Patrice is doing, obviously jump in immediately, Patrice. But we're talking about the Times Square suspect. And we laid out exactly how it went down. They've been following the guy since yesterday, right, Ant? Followed the guy yesterday, pretty much knew who he was. And they didn't arrest him right away, which was very smart police work and detective work. They wanted to see if anyone else was involved. So they followed the guy for pretty much a day, seeing if he was going to do some banking, seeing who he was talking to up there in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they were seeing who he was calling, if he was calling anybody. Then they also knew that he was getting ready to split on a plane back to Dubai, so they knew that. And they followed him to the airport. They followed him through security. They had people in place at the airport. Then in the area outside the gate, they were watching if he was meeting anyone before he got on the plane. They had it all figured out.
Yeah, they weren't letting this guy get away. They knew who he was.
And then he got on the plane. They were even waiting at that point to see if anyone else on the plane with him. And then they finally arrested the guy, okay? That's exactly how it went down, exactly. Yep. But the stupid fucking media and the stupid local news.
They want to make more of it. They want to make it sound like a movie.
Right.
They want some spy angle and
Correct.
Some mystique.
So we got some examples of the media just trying to make it more than what it really is. 3 examples. We start with Tampa Bay.
From Fox 13, the most powerful name in local news, this is Good Day Tampa Bay.
Almost got away. The suspect in the failed Times Square bombing arrested.
Almost got away.
Almost got away.
How we just laid it out for you. Did he almost get away?
No.
No.
Not at all.
And then you get CNN doing this morning.
Whether or not they actually intentionally let him get as far as he did, or whether or not he was not on a flight manifest and that he was caught in the nick of time as that plane was actually pulling away from the jetway.
No, there was not a whether or not situation here. They told CNN, no, this is what happened, and CNN has to go, well, whether or not.
God.
And then finally, NBC.
And it looks like this arrest happened literally in the nick of time. There's a report this morning that says the suspect had already boarded the plane and the plane had backed away from the gate, that they had to bring it back to get him off.
They know the news sucks so bad. They explained exactly what they were doing, knowing the news is going to do this, and the news still does it. We wanted to make sure there was no one else involved. They came out and said that. Is the guy meeting people at the airport? Is he boarding the flight with other people that might have been
and then once he's
involved
just
with
sitting
this?
on the plane, is he looking around at people and making any contacts on the plane? They know.
Another example why the fucking news just sucks.
A nick of time. Almost got away.
Ow.
God damn it, does Oprah have a nice set of tits?
What?
Look, she's walking into
I can't see the fucking... I can't see the station identifying thing is blocking half the screen.
Say what you want about Oprah, but she's got a nice fucking set, man. She had a low-cut fucking dress with some nice cleavage.
What are you trying to do? Get a job over there?
Yeah, like that's going to help.
Yeah.
Talking about Oprah's tits. Yeah, that's going to get me into Harpo, man.
You
You're right.
You're right. You never want to lift the tits of a fat woman and lick underneath them.
No.
Unless it's really cold out. Never in summer weather.
You think there's some kind of odor coming from that?
Of course, it's always sweaty. It smells like lamb under a fat girl's tits. Under a fat girl's tits.
Wait till you see that video they just showed, though, Ant. You might. Nah, you're not going to change your fucking tone. What am I thinking? Jimmy might, though. Jimmy might go,
No, I don't.
You might give me a,
No, I pretty much know where I stand with Oprah, sexually.
Really?
Yeah, I like her as a talk show host, but does nothing for my dick.
All right. How are you, Patrice?
I'm good, man.
What do you think of this whole Times Square suspect thing?
Some phony shit to just get fucking fat bitches all around Times Square checking you before you go into
Is that it?
McDonald's.
You think
Take your shoes off before you get
it. Be like the airport, just walking around Times Square.
Take a bite of your sandwich before you leave to make sure it's get the fuck out of here.
You want to go there?
I don't believe it at all. What failed anything has anybody done? Timothy McVeigh he blew up the world in a truck. This guy fucking has a a steamy. It was a fucking flat iron in there with some clothes. So now they're gonna shut down Times Square and fucking have a bunch of motherfuckers.
You know what?
Deciding to fucking.
You know what? You watch.
Violate your life. Fuck that shit.
You watch. This is the last straw, and it's gonna drive Jimmy nuts. But now you watch. Times Square is just people now. No cars.
Shut down.
We can't take the chance. No cars.
And people are willing to have it happen. People, we need the safety. Really?
You watch.
Fail, but how many failed bombs has there ever been? That you wanted it to be. What did this guy put this shit together like real quick?
Just willy-nilly.
I don't believe it.
He just slapped it together. Well, he's Pakistani. He was in Pakistan
of course
for 5
he is,
months.
You know.
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
Of course he's Pakistani.
Of course he is.
The smart thing if they was doing this shit is just make them Chinese or something new.
Something new.
As opposed, really? Was it been Pakistan? Uh-oh. Like,
really?
The fuck out of here.
Yesterday we were thinking
flying back to the Emirates. Like, for real?
Yesterday we were thinking middle-aged white guy for just a a few hours. We thought middle-aged white guy.
They're getting fucking super lazy.
Yeah, they are.
I don't believe it. I mean, if it blew up, you believe it, if it blew up, I still wouldn't believe that is what it was.
But there's got to be dummy terrorists too. Like this
There's
guy,
a lot of them.
This guy's a dummy terrorist.
I didn't believe the Nigerian kid. I'm not believing it, man.
Yeah.
His penis was on fire. A lot of people saw it.
Yeah. You don't believe underwear
I'm just
bomber?
not believing.
What do you think they are then?
I'm thinking it's me. You know me.
You think it's just some kind of fucking Illuminati plan these things to make it look like they're thwarting a lot of...
I think that war.
Yeah.
We're moving out of war. And we're moving into something else. We're moving into a world where they're trying to get you to be, it's a global fucking ruler. Global ruling. The banks and everything else. And I just think they're moving a little bit out of war because war is not the patriotic thing. War used to be necessary when we was split and cold and everything. But now it's like everything's becoming global. And I think they're just doing things to make it global so they could just start implementing their
So how does
shit.
this do it? How does this
help
help
it's like Arizona, man.
Like
it's easy. You just, a couple of fucking Mexicans, rape and murder a bitch in Arizona and lets people, whatever they call those fucking chapter 206 and rule 72 and fucking this. And let police, it's the fact that they're letting police now are Judge Dreads, man. Like just
Judge Dredd.
Yeah, they could just be the law and they could just tell you what the fuck to do and then this douche, they're ready with their bomb unit in a smoky car that doesn't explode, and Bloomberg, who's a part of these motherfuckers, $7 billion motherfucker with his own network, and he's down with this shit. And he just goes up, and now they're gonna shut Times Square. Now, big fat bitch from Newark is gonna be telling me, give me ID to walk down each block.
Yeah.
Like it's like fuck you. I don't give a fuck, man.
It's a kind of a thing for a power grab.
I hate this. I hope these fucking ancient delivery boys from Mexico are right in 2012. I'm gonna be sitting on my roof,
ancient delivery
hoping
they were
that a giant fucking earthquake happened. I just hope so.
Michio Kaku already said that's all bullshit. The 2012 thing.
I hope it's not. I just hope something happens because it's just ridiculous.
But you're right
bullshit.
about Times Square. They're gonna get rid of cars now officially. They have to.
They were working on it already.
But now this makes it very easy for Bloomberg to go, look, we can't.
No cars.
We can't have fucking cars driving through this area that has a lot of people.
The parking garage people are behind it. That's who it is.
Yes.
Everybody will need parking garages.
Yes.
But it's already, the plan is already great. You take a turn, you go through 7th Ave. Maybe they're trying to just completely shut down 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
But listen, here's another one I read. Another one. They're trying to stop transportation, period. Like, you see, there's supposed to be no money.
Right.
But it's constant 80-story buildings being built on the waters. And there's trains and shit on the water. They're trying to slowly control travel. Like, control your movement. And they build these shitty buildings stacked on top of each other, 500 people in the building. And you can't go nowhere unless you're controlled by
cars
trains.
Are very independent.
They'll just stop trains. They'll stop cars where you need permission to drive. Like, it sounds crazy, but if they do it, you'll be like, oh shit, they did it. But it's easy to do. They're gonna stop. Look at Times Square. They're going to shut that down, can't drive, bunch of happy people feeling safe on the red stairs and the stupid whatever they're going to build over, the Disney store they're building to take the place of Virgin and all that shit, and have people just happy, got to go and get on a train where you have to go, where they won't let you drive. Raising the fucking the toll for the Holland Tunnel from $4 to $8 to $12 to $50, they're going to price you out. You have to ride the fucking PATH train or some shit.
And then you're under their control of where you go and where you are.
Yes, they control you. That's what they're building, these stupid buildings. Who the fuck can afford to live in these buildings? Who's moving in these places?
Your theory has some holes there.
It's not my theory. It's just something I believe.
It's really expensive to have a car in Manhattan. It just is. It's really expensive.
And they actually lost on the price plan they tried to do. They tried to price people out of coming into New York from the east side, and they did lose that. I mean, they were voted
to park in one of these garages.
But the voting is just, that's a more...
To park in Manhattan costs you a lot of money, man.
Yeah, but that's who's going to be able to do it.
$25 basically, wherever you go.
I drive a truck. I can afford, it costs me $40 to just come in and have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I can afford that.
The riffraff.
Exactly.
Patrice is talking about the masses.
The masses,
like you're going to have the upper elite that's going to be able to drive around and shit, and that'll be hard to keep them from coming in, but the majority of people will be under some kind of control as to when and where they go.
This eminent domain thing, man, where the government can just go, I want your shit.
We're taking that.
I don't even know how I own my house. I got paperwork, but if a motherfucker said this is mine, I'd be looking for some Jew to help me keep my house.
But don't forget that guy with eminent domain where they were trying to knock it down to build the Nets stadium in Brooklyn. One guy held that process up in court for 7 years.
7 years?
7 years. And he held out, and everybody else got like $1 million. They tried to lowball him, and he fucked him in court. He got $3 million and something for property that was worth nowhere near that. So it's like one guy in court, that's how you own it.
Because they still have to go through those things in terms of, it's like the reason, like, they take whatever taxes they take. It's like, is that an arbitrary number that they figured out this is the tax? It's just because they can't take it all because they don't. Like, they just don't yet. I just
can't take it all.
This blow-up guy,
Vince from Bayonne writes, this is your quote, by the way, Patrice. It's not my theory, it's just something I believe. And then he writes, what the hell does that ever even mean?
Yeah, it's just like,
it's just a feeling you have.
Here's all of us. All of us are parrots of some shit somebody else. There's thoughts out there that enable us to think on top of that thought.
Right.
But there's motherfuckers who work hard on conspiracy theories. And you put them together, you either go, this is stupid, or you go, makes a lot of sense and I believe it because, I just believe in that kind of shit. So I'm saying I didn't make it up, but I believe in it and I'm thinking on top of it.
But
that's
all.
all.
Now, the thing is, and this is always what blows apart any conspiracy theory with me, who's behind it?
Banks.
But banks. So they all get together.
Yes.
And have these meetings and plan
the
this shit.
Bilderberg group, the fucking.
And they plan
it. Yes. The Foreign Affairs, the Committee for Foreign Affairs. It's these guys. They exist. They fucking exist.
So they're the ones.
Old fucking people who just want to run the earth. There's too many people. They want us to take fucking drugs and fucking vaccines that don't work. There's fucking people who are doing that.
Patrice is talking the guy that in the movie, your brakes would give out on your way home.
I just believe it.
Yeah, that's what happened in the movie. Patrice's brakes give out. What happened?
I like what Ant's saying. If all this is true, what you're saying, you're going to have a rough ride home
No,
today.
it's too many. Yeah. There's too many motherfuckers that's going to have a rough because right now your boy on Fox is spitting that shit. Just because there's a black president, now he's spitting New World Order shit because Obama's in office, but it's all the real shit because I think racism trumps fucking conspiracy theories. What's his name there?
Sean?
Glenn Beck.
Oh,
Glenn Beck is losing his mind
Glenn Beck.
with the whole world because of Obama. But that shit he's starting in the Tea Party. They having him be racist, and a lot of them is on a racist platform, but the platform is fucking government and government in your life and all that shit that they should have been spitting when when this fucking crazy cracker was in there before.
That Tea Party thing is no more racist than any other
than anything else, but they busted it out like it's
racist. Any
racist.
black organization, and it's mostly racist, anti-white fucking rhetoric.
I mean, as it should, but
you got that senator fucking.
Exactly. He apologized. He was on page 18 of the fucking Daily News today.
Are worth shit. That motherfucker. What you're saying is racism. We're gonna have you removed. Have me removed. Oh, you want to step outside? This motherfucker is acting like a thug.
Why is every nigga got to sound like that?
But he did.
In this case, he did, Patrice. In this case, he did.
I should have known.
Anthony's right on this one.
I can't go.
Kevin Parker.
Anthony doesn't do bad impressions, so he probably did sound just like
this motherfucker.
He was very angry.
Is so angry. I don't care what color he is. He's just an angry motherfucker.
Okay.
He should not be in office.
I don't have a retort. It's just all.
But the people who run government are not. This is the thing. They're not a higher species than us. They're the same dummies that we like. They're the same guys that like walk into the bathroom after somebody else stinks it up and go like, fuck.
That's true. That's true, Jim. And that's the thing. It's
smart,
like
right?
they're not that smart. It's the basis. I think that every idea has some validity to it. Like most ideas, there's some ideas that you go, that's just a bad idea. But the idea of the police is a great idea. The idea that somebody's there to help you when you're in trouble, and this is the
Right.
idea of taxes to help you build shit. The idea of all this shit is great. But when people get the idea of government's fantastic. There's some people that smarter people, but it's the people that fuck up the idea. Every idea is great, but when you get a cop that's just overly indulgent in power, it becomes a bad fucking idea. I'm just saying that the people in government, once they're smart enough to use these things against us, which they don't give, you just said it. You said it, Opie. You said people just don't take care of themselves, man. There's fucking guys that are in the BP who's just trying to figure out how to switch blame instead of going, man, people are gonna die. Fish are gonna die. We're gonna die because we're not gonna. Fish are gonna cost $20 a fucking. People ain't gonna be able to fucking eat and just be human about it.
Yeah.
But they're gonna be shitty about it.
Who the fuck is going to order a fish fry next week?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Who's crazy enough to order a fish next week?
Fish are done. That's where we get our fish.
Right now, you figure the fish is still okay, but next week, 2 weeks from now, I ain't fucking ordering fish anytime soon.
Shrimp is what you get
fried
a lot
anyway.
of down
Fuck
there.
it.
Get a lot of shrimp.
How about some sushi? Are you going to order some sushi next week?
I might.
2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now?
My mother can't. She fucking. My
I'm taking
mother
a break from
Boston
sushi.
can't even fucking take a shower. My mother called. She texted me in Boston.
Up in Boston, yeah.
And the water's not. The water main broke. The water's not dirty. There's just some horrible bacteria in it that they told them about or whatever. But my mother had gotten sick weeks before because the water looks good, but she's drinking some horrible
It's that
Ebola
invisible bacteria,
and now they told them, but you gotta hope that somebody is telling you the fucking truth.
And by the way, the water was shut off for what? A day? 2 days?
Yes.
And all hell was starting to break loose as people were trying to get water from the supermarket.
My mother,
Could you imagine?
She's 60 years old. My mother can't 2 days with no shot. Go to work stink. A 60-year-old lady stinks at work. It's like, for real, can't have water.
We're 3 days away from chaos.
I believe it.
Where was that? Like
I so believe it
for
now.
any
Die
given,
Hard 4.
It was something like that. Now it's like with any situation, if you run out of food, water, if the machine breaks down and there's not the services you're used to, and I don't mean minor little things like a severe breakdown of food, water, things like that, electricity. You're 3 days away from complete anarchy and chaos. But people will lose their fucking minds on an unprecedented level.
That's why the crazy, what's her name, Napolitano, the boss of the
Napolitano, I think.
The leader of the Homeland Security, they're switching the focus from Arabs to the crazy guys in the hills.
And
those guys got it correct. They're not going to fuck you. When this shit starts fucking up, those dudes got it right. It's the fact that it's that racial angle that they always have to push. Those fuckers got it right. They build their own homes. They got their own water. They got their own supply. They do what motherfuckers did back in the day, even though that's not comfortable. But those guys got it right. We got it wrong because
they'll be the ones.
They control your shit.
No one had to survive, and
2 million people are under the control of the bacteria that they say that's in the water or whatever, we're just in control. We're being controlled by. That's what I'm saying. Why?
But we're not ants. We're not ants being controlled by a person. We're all. You understand? We're all on pretty much the same level. And like 2,000 years ago, we were throwing our own shit at each other, and now we have elevators and planes.
But 2,000 years ago, there was.
We're not headed towards this domination by a small group.
Yes, we
I
are.
don't believe that.
That's called feudalism. It's because back in the day, there was one dude running shit, and you go, holy shit, I can't do this. Right outside my door is a million angry motherfuckers. So what I got to do is create about 100,000 greedy motherfuckers who are better. Then you take 100,000 out that million, and they're better than 900,000 people, and give them shit, and they will stomp to say, look, you get the the non-bacteria water. All you got to do is step on the neck, push a couple of buttons, tell these 900,000 people that are slaves to money now, we're debt slaves. And then there's 100,000 people who are the haves, and they'll put their fucking William Shatner with his 600 million. You think he wouldn't kill your family, to keep $1 of his Priceline money?
Fucking Shatner.
He'll put his fucking foot on the neck. It's just people are fucked up.
I like how you're breaking it down.
But communism would have worked, and if that was the truth, communism
people fucked up communism.
But I'm saying communism would have won if that was the case. It's much easier to control people if everyone's getting paid the same, everyone serves the government. Communism would have won.
Communism fucked up because the people at the top didn't do the right thing.
They got more.
They were greedy.
And got greedy, right.
Okay, so it's the same people who are running communism are the same dummies who are supposedly going to run the world banks. Like, they're the same. They make these dumb decisions. They make mistakes. They go broke.
That's why they haven't done the big move yet, because it's just not enough of them to stop a panic of 5 million people. Like, as soon as they figure out how to fucking kill a few and control a few, that's why they're shutting down these eminent domain. They're getting all this land and then moving you and me or whatever to the side of the ocean where the trains are, so we can get on those trains and go where the fuck they're going to take it. It happened in Germany. Like, what the fuck do you think this shit can't happen?
You're not allowed to talk to Bill Burr ever again.
Now, Bill's into this shit, but, you know, it's just the internet, because me and Bill don't really correspond about it. It's just there. A lot of people believe it. It's just there, dude.
Well, then they're going to have to shut down the internet so we don't get together.
You don't think they're doing that shit? China is the blueprint for the world. People love the world leaders love China.
But why would the internet have gotten this far? It's like it's impossible to really, or very difficult. Why would it have gotten this far? Like in the last 15 years, for a group that's going to control us and control our thoughts, they have allowed something that is basically uncontrollable to explode all over the planet.
Yeah, because they didn't realize it at first, and it's the same thing with the news. The reason they have to control it now is because, again, the Constitution is being broken down, and the freedom of press, which is to protect us against the news that they're giving us. Like, is somebody just sitting there listening to these? They just found them, and they're like, wow, they just and you're a thinker, and everybody in this room is really a thinker. Like, these stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah, they didn't just find them.
The internet became something that was supposed to dummy us down, which it does, because now our head is down. Our head's never up anymore, ever. We just down looking at this and that. And really, once we trust in that information, they start manipulating it, and our head's still down, trusting that shit. Look at Wikipedia. That shit, people are flunking out of college behind that shit. Anybody could just say you ain't. Somebody could just invent you.
Hold on. Patrice, so if you trust the info, you can control the info.
Yes.
If you know the people trust the info, then you can control that info.
That's right. Once we
kind of like that thought.
You know, I mean, it's just
kind of like it a little bit.
Look, it sounds like crazy rantings, but I can't believe people just don't have maybe 45% of disbelief. They believe. I believe in the idea of the police. I love the idea of 911, my cat's in a tree. I love that fucking shit. But the idea, it's people
So
that
what
run
kind of
that
timeline
shit.
do you think before the majority of people start going, oh, fuck, we got ourselves in some shit?
I don't know. I mean,
like, 'cause there's got to be a turning point where the majority of people in the country or in the world, even if this is a whole world thing, turn and goes, wait a minute, this isn't like it was. We're kind of really Here's what kills me about people. And one thing is that we're so willing to move on from something that you go, wait a minute, can we figure this out before I move on to the next thing? Is the fact that there's it kills me that there's no basis for our wealth in this country, meaning the money's made up from debt. Debt is now wealth in this country. So all we're doing is we are slaves. The government's slaves to the bank, and we're slaves to the government. But we just say, okay. Like, even that, fuck all the other spaceship shit and 9/11. The real fact is, you don't own your money. How many times do you pay $7 with a credit card? We don't even carry cash. Cash is useless. So our money is digitized, man. We got digital money. And you don't think they just go, hey, man, Mr. Cumia, we need an extra $2 million. We saw something in our books. What? Thank you. You can't hide it because it's on your card.
Are they doing that by closing down some of these banks?
Yeah, that's
wiping out
bank.
That's wiping out people's accounts just like that because
they're
only insured up to what, depending on the bank.
250,
250,000.
So if you got $1 million in the
all
bank,
of a sudden you got $1 million. You just
lost $750.
Where is that $750?
Paying off the bank.
But a lot of guys that a year ago would have been called power brokers lost all their money too. Like 2 years ago, a lot of these guys, the head of say Wachovia or all these banks, would have been considered part of that conspiracy.
Yeah, but they're not the Rockefellers. They're not the creators of the. See, people think they got a little cash. If I had, give me $5 million. I'm gonna dig a hole and hide it somehow, or I'm gonna buy jewels or something because I know in this system if they'll fuck a white boy, they'll fuck me. It's like Donnie Brasco. I can only be a friend of yours. I can't be a friend of ours. I can't. So it's like these guys that you think $1 billion, they're not Rockefeller and fucking J.P. Morgan, the guys who created this system who said, fuck the Constitution, nigga. We gonna run the world. And that shit happened in 1913 with the fucking, the meeting that they, you see this thing, Why We Fight? There was it's not hitting.
But the documentary?
The documentary.
That was great.
When this guy was apologizing, was it Truman? That was apologizing? He apologized for getting us into this. He said, I'm so sorry that the industrial banking system I'm sorry I fucked us up. I'm sorry. We're fucked. I sold it off. This country went bankrupt in 1931, man. It went bank. We're just cattle, man. We ain't shit.
So we'll never really notice because we just kind of get used to things and go.
We're on a treadmill,
as long as you turn the faucet and the water comes out and.
What do you care, Ant? You got a pool
switch and the light
and a
comes
fucking
on.
house, man. What do you care?
Right.
It's just
as long as I have it tomorrow and the next day.
So what? It's supposed to be better for Anthony? Is that what you're saying?
It's better for Ant.
Is it supposed to be better for Anthony?
Some of us have to be comfortable. That's the thing about revolt, man. And when people revolted, everybody was fucked.
Yeah.
Then it was like close to being late.
All right, I'm just trying to break down a little bit. So if you keep enough people happy, like an Anthony and myself, whatever, Jimmy probably would be
enough people with the idea of happiness. Yeah.
So it makes it easier not to have a revolution on your hands.
Because what are poor people attaining to be? They're attaining to be you.
Right.
A poor person is attaining to be me, and then I'm attaining to be you. And you might be attaining to be Bill Gates. So
you keep enough people happy, and then other people feeling like they could attain what Anthony has.
Until everybody sounds like a homeless person.
So that's why
talking about bread in your stomach. Hey, no bread soaks up.
So that's why in the end, is revolution isn't possible in the year 2010 in this country.
Probably not. Too much information. Too much.
Back in the 1700s, a lot easier to revolt.
You read about a company, Monsanto. They are dismembering dismantling Mexico. Mexico used to be self-sufficient with their food. Monsanto came in, and they have genetically modified food that only grows with the chemicals that they have. And they spray it on the fucking corn that the Mexicans use to be independent, kill that. Now they have their fucking science corn that they need to grow with their science shit, and it's just fucking killing us.
It was Woodrow Wilson that apologized?
Woodrow Wilson. Yeah, he's apologized for fucking us over.
You know what? I didn't see that documentary. I was thinking
That's a great
I was thinking of the one that
documentary,
Ann saw and I saw as well, Fog of War.
Oh, Fog of War is the one.
Last time I was
Where
there,
the
you guys
fucking guy-
showed the fucking bomb thing, which was
no.
It was shocking to me.
Fog of War was great because the guy was just stuck in horrible Washington traffic, and this guy was
the Secretary of Defense
Yeah.
for like Nixon.
yeah, and that guy was responsible for a lot of shit, and he's just one of us stuck in fucking horrible.
He's in traffic like
horrible commuter traffic
Poor
in the
old
rain
guy now.
Right.
But when did all this fighting? Because it's not like we were nice and then all of a sudden got shitty after J.P. Morgan. The American Indians were lopping each other's heads off. It's basically just human nature. We've always been fighting. So if they say why we fight and they somehow come back to the rich trying to keep us,
it's not like
we were
why,
fighting. We were separate too.
I agree with you, and that's the use of it. It says like if you find the one, I don't know if it's just opportunist. If me and you have a nature to fight, and somebody else goes, holy shit, it's like boxing. Don King make all the money. Why these other motherfuckers blast their heads open? So if you got, if we are animals and we like fighting anyway, it's like shit. I don't like to fight. Let's figure out how to get all these motherfuckers who like doing stupid shit to do stupid shit. And if you can benefit from a guy who's willing to blow himself up for some cause that's some horse shit.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you make a couple of $zillion if he was a piece of shit instead of stopping him from doing that shit?
I don't believe that one baboon can run the other baboon's life as effectively as
But
you're saying.
a group of baboons might be able to
Look, man,
have a little more juice.
They're not that much smarter.
Hitler killed 6 million fucking people, man.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't do it. He convinced other motherfuckers to do it. And he was charismatic enough to go, these people ain't shit. Let's kill them like roaches. People are fucking idiots. So he's a baboon, but there's dumber baboons. There's a leader baboon.
I want to ask Anthony something because I really don't know the answer to this. How many people did Hitler actually kill?
I don't know. In World War I, he probably killed a few people.
Right. He told other people
during the war
to kill, obviously.
But
I mean,
later on, when he became the Führer, he didn't kill people.
He didn't kill anybody.
He had people killed.
And who do you blame? Do you blame him?
He had people killed.
That's what I'm saying. Do you blame him? That's why I don't like people who just go, okay, it's my job. Do you blame Hitler or do you blame the fucking guys who was just fucking killing people? Who do you blame? If I'm like, I hate Chinese, I want them all dead, and somebody goes, you're right, Patrice, let's kill them. Is it me because I'm just fucking, I got the ability to fucking coerce?
But then you go back.
I don't even know if Manson's fucking guilty with these other idiots that did his fucking bidding.
But then you could argue you need the ideal situation because it was, the surrender of World War I, and Germany was put in a pretty bad position with the Treaty of Versailles. So that's what made World War II possible and made Nazi Germany possible because the people were so disillusioned with their position and their lack of power, and the German people do not like being told they cannot build fucking cool.
Yeah, no one was
shit.
happy, right? It was
So that made it easier. So as far as the conspiracy thing goes, no, I can't see that. But you can't just have some guy show up where people are generally happy and go, hey, start killing motherfuckers. They're gonna be like, hey, this guy's crazy. Right. You need you need the proper mix of misery and scapegoats and shit like that to make the perfect mix where one guy can then say, hey, motherfuckers, let's start killing people.
And even though that baboon was smarter than the other ones, that baboon shot himself in a bunker because he fucked up. It's like they're not that much ahead of us. There's someone more charismatic, but none of them is smart enough to pull it all off and make it work.
Russians were getting a little close.
Exactly.
Even that baboon knew that. Yeah. It's like, I don't want these guys taking me.
You got everyone reacting. We got to take a couple of these. Rich, Long Island. Patrice O'Neal in studio today. What's up, Rich?
Attack of Conspiracy Negro. Attack of Conspiracy Negro.
What an ass.
motherfucker been waiting all that time to do that.
That asshole got to be the first call.
Jeff in Canada. Jeff.
Yeah, hey, this is for Patrice. One of the Rothschilds was quoted as saying, "We make more money in one day of war than we do in a whole year of peace."
Yeah.
War's good business,
Yeah,
right?
it's great business,
good
man.
Candy, too.
Yeah,
The
War's-
Rothschild, you ever have one of those? It's so creamy.
I think a lot of people
Had
know
enough
that.
of the Rothschilds, by the way. I'm
And
tired
again,
of hearing
can
about
I-
them.
you?
Yes.
Can I please say this? Look, if you get a guy that's just immersed in this on one side or the other, I'm talking about a little bit of information that
I hear you.
I try to put my own mind to, not just spit out what somebody.
why I'm not sitting
somebody's
here
gonna
going,
fucking
"You're
kill.
crazy."
They're gonna make me look like an asshole if they have enough shit to punch me in the head with.
That's
but
why I'm not sitting here going, wow,
You know?
Patrice, you sound crazy. Because it is a little bit of this, a little of that. And I'm usually the one that says anything conspiracy, I'm jumping on and saying bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But there's something going on I can't quite put my finger on. There's something going on.
That's why they invented.
Financially, you're right. But I don't know if it's just the evolution of where we were going anyway, if it's some group of people that are orchestrating this, or if it's just, like I said, some kind of evolution. Like people change.
Well, if you think people
the
aren't
world's
running it,
getting
though-
smaller because of the information age. Now, that's something that came about because of just evolution of our natural curiosity of places, like when people just set out in ships to see what the fuck was over there. Electronically, we're doing that now, so the world's a smaller place, which means we trade with people.
But electronically, there's somebody that is behind every piece of industry. Somebody said it was. I think it was this guy Aaron Russo, who was a movie producer, and then he started going into this the globalization world. And he said something about democracy. He said the forefathers didn't want democracy; they wanted freedom. Democracy is not freedom.
No, you're right.
It is slavery. It is 51% of the people control 49%. 49% of the people are slaves. It's two wolves and a sheep voting for what's for dinner. That's what democracy is. So we are under the control of something when you think democratic. It's not freedom.
We've talked about it so many times that you're not free to do anything. You're really not
It's a fake
free.
freedom.
It's a fake freedom. Because
go out there and try to
freedom
shoot your own
is-
dinner tonight.
Yeah. Go out on the streets and just go. I'm hunting squirrels, and you just go in Central Park with a rifle.
Right.
You will not be free very long.
I'm free in this country,
But that
right?
was legal until people started getting shot by people who don't know how to aim at a squirrel, and we all said we don't want that.
Freedom, true freedom.
But meaning we said we don't want that to be legal anymore.
Yeah,
we
but-
said that as a people we don't want
Did
that to be
we?
legal.
I don't know.
That's the fucking
The people that represent us
is
said
the
that.
point. Is now we go back to the Times Square guy.
Yeah.
That guy is the guy who shot you by mistake hunting squirrels.
Yeah.
Now we all can't fucking
Can't hunt squirrels.
And we're all willing to give
say
up
that,
the right to not hunt
Thank you.
squirrels.
I don't know
put
if we're
it
willing. We don't
perfectly.
have a choice.
We do.
We don't have a
You know
fucking
what?
choice.
If
The
we
people
went
that
to the fucking airport
the people
and
that
one
represent
fat
us-
bitch said, take your shoes off, you go, I have diabetes. There's a nail on the floor. I'm going to step on it and die. I'm not taking off my fucking shoes. If everybody said, fuck that, eat my balls, I'm not taking off my fucking shoes. What could that bitch do? We control ourselves with our own fear that somebody's going to fucking have a box cutter and take over the plane.
But when we didn't take off our shoes until some guy tried to blow the plane up with his shoes, and now I'm happy to take my shoes off. I don't care if they want to look at my feet because I'm worried about what's in his fucking shoes.
But
I don't mind. That's not giving up
game.
a freedom.
But that's the game. That is giving up your freedom.
But I don't think it
because
is.
that's the game. I don't want to take off my shoes.
I don't want to take off my
And then-
shoes.
I don't mind at all.
I don't want.
I don't want to take my
them
shoes off.
I don't.
But that's the game. It's like I'm not saying anything.
Hold on. But I want to go with Jimmy for a second because Jimmy's really pissed off about.
Come on, man.
No. About something else, Jimmy. I know where I'm going with this. When they started closing down the streets in Times Square, you were furious, right?
Yes, because it was unnecessary. I felt Bloomberg didn't get his
But
way.
now there's a very good possibility because of this incident that they're going to shut down all traffic in Times Square, right?
Yes.
Now, do you mind that?
It still annoys me. It still annoys me because to me it's an overreaction
But
And
we
you
seem
can't.
to,
First of all,
we
you
seem
can't
to overreact.
You
though.
can't stop it.
Going back to Patrice's point, we do seem to overreact. One guy does something, next thing you know, we all can't do it anymore.
One of the few things I learned in college from this ethics class, it's the first thing he ever said. He goes, "Good is good if it's good for me." That's what good is. So if it doesn't bother me, it's fine. If it bothers me, it's not. So
that's human nature.
Human nature.
That's
so they
human nature.
play human nature. They can't do this without our own help. They just can't do it. It's not enough of them to do it unless we go, yes, I'll do it, and that's it.